Happy Tuesday, everybody. This is Helen Schaefer with you, live from my palatial estate in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, which is nowhere. A lot of people are getting amped up about Hershey. Very exciting. I hope that you are coming to Hershey. I'm teaching a class on Sunday and competing, and I know a lot of other people are competing. And a lot of those people are first timers. So here's what to expect when you're competing. Because it's very nerve-wracking. Hi, Kelly. It's very nerve-wracking competing, especially your first time. My first time was at Hershey in 2013. So this will be my 6th year competing. Thank you, Ann. These are from Target, and I'm a huge fan of this style of sunglasses, so if anybody finds some with rhinestones here, pick them up for me, and I will gladly reimburse you, because this fits my face. But I digress. So this will be my 6th Hershey competing, and my first Hershey was a disaster. I dropped my shears off to be sharpened at an on-site sharpener, and 2 of my 3 pairs were working. And I'm doing a Bichon. So of course my curves weren't working. It's okay. Honest mistake. And my fault. I shouldn't have waited till the last minute. So for all you first timers that are nervous, deep breath. You are going to rock. You're going to rock. It's going to be great. Foxy Roxy does their first timer competition award now, so you're all eligible for that, and that's really exciting. Yay, free shears. So here's how it goes down. The bathing area, first off, the Hershey Lodge is not pet friendly, so you will get to know the holding area very well if you've booked there. The holding area is next to the bathing area. There is a double gate and security guard. It's very, very safe. If it's very, very hot that weekend, watch weather.com, because in the past it's been very, very hot. Try to bring fans for your dogs. Kelly said she's never been to Hershey. She wants to go so bad. It's insane compared to Burbank. It is insane compared to Burbank. But also, that's my hometown show. It's 45 minutes from me. So here I am, divulging. So anyway, the holding area, you need a badge to get in and out, because it's very secure. They don't want anybody stealing your dogs. They don't want any PETA people going in and being crazy. Make sure you have your badge. It's a blue badge. If you're going to have an assistant, make sure that they have an assistant's badge. Very, very important. If you don't have a dog yet lined up, there are many options. You can buy one, which is not practical, but you can. You can go to, buy or rescue. No one's judging here. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Riza. You can post in several of the different competition grooming groups. There's Contest Dog Network, which has pretty much everybody in it and lots of dog providers. There's also Contest Groomers Uncensored, which also has a lot of dog people, and also a great place to get critiques. So if you're setting up your 6 weeks before Hershey groom, take some pictures, all angles, including the butthole. Victor doesn't like to see buttholes though, so put a little sticker over that. And then ask people what they think. Front, back, both sides. Hi, Keely. So, if you strike out in both of those places, and especially for Contest Dog Network, you need to post pictures of your work. There's also a Groomer Expo page that's specific to Hershey, and a lot of breeders will post in there. If you don't have any contacts, which if you're on Facebook, I find that hard to believe, you can private message me and I will try to help you find a dog. I honest to God will, because I feel like competing is such a big part of our industry that's really special. Like, it's a really special group. It's not for everyone, and that's okay. But if you're signed up and you're coming and you need a dog, I will do my absolute best to find you a dog. I'm going for Dog Pimp 2019 Barkley Honors. It's a write-in category. It's not a category. So now let's pretend that you have a dog. And if you need to find local breeders too in your area to connect with, go to your dog shows, infodog.com. Excellent website. You can find all your local shows. Spend $10 on a catalog when you're there. Thanks, Jonathan. I have a lot of contacts and a lot of like networking, and I had such a good experience when I was in entry and intermediate with people helping me find dogs that I want to pass that on. It's very, very important to me that everybody, gets to try out for their dreams, like shoot for the stars. Shoot for the stars. So anyway, back to infodog.com. You can find all your local shows. They might be 50 miles away, and you know what? Spend a Sunday at a dog show. I'm interested in adding a hand strip breed to my repertoire next year. I used to do a lot of hand stripping, and I love hand stripping. I'm pretty good at it. I don't own a hand strip dog, and terriers are my favorite things to groom. So I went to a local show, and I made friends with our local Airedale people. And you know what? Like, I kind of really love Airedales. I have all small dogs. But Airedales are just kind of goofy and silly. So I wanted, all right. And, there's a breeder 30 minutes away from me. You'd be surprised in your area, the resources that you have. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Christy. That's okay, Riza. No, there are plenty of people that like Asian fusion grooming, and especially if you're going to Hershey, there's so many Asian fusion groomers in Philadelphia area, like Jane Gallagher and Olga and Jennifer Lee, and I do a little bit of Asian fusion too, and yeah, we're not right in Hershey, but we're an hour and a half away, and people like stuff like that. They like it cute and easy to maintain. Worst comes to worst, you can have JB. We'll load him up with Rimadyl. So anyway, back to Infodog. Spend the Sunday at a grooming show or a dog show and tell them you're a groomer. Make friends. Wait till they're done in the ring. Number one. Number two, buy the catalog, and because that way you have their information, their names. Look at the dogs as they go around the ring. Look at the breeds that you're interested in. Make sure you're there for them. And the dog that you think is the prettiest, talk to that person. Sometimes it'll be a professional handler. It will be noted on the catalog that it is, and they're a little bit harder to talk to on occasion. But there's plenty of professional handlers that come to grooming competitions. So don't hesitate to speak up, because they might even know somebody in your area. The thing with dog people is we have that connection. Like I've talked about before with building community, it goes across all kinds of dog fields. Disc dog people are a little weird. Just throwing that out there from a, hey Savvy. From a dog, I'm a former dog sport addict. But anyway, so now let's say you found your dog, you're coming to Hershey. Now what? Most shows have a bathing sign up. Most shows, not all. Hershey does not have a bathing sign up sheet. Those tubs are first come, first serve. I, as a experienced Hershey veteran, suggest trying to get into tub 1 or tub 3, because there's 2 water connections, and tubs 1 and 2 share it, and tubs 3 and 4 share it, and whoever is first on that tub connection gets the better water pressure. Another thing about the bathing room, don't be a table hog. There are only so many tables. There are only so many dryers. If you are flat ironing, you can do that in the ring. If you are just brushing and combing, you could do that at a different table. Bring yourself a little portable table. That's true, Colin. Hershey does not allow dogs in the room, and people still do, sneak them in. I'm not judging. If you can get away with it, that's on you. You know what's in your soul. I'm not going to do that because also my dogs are fine in the holding room as long as it's not super hot. But there are, as I've mentioned in my previous live stream from Sunday, many, many hotels around that are dog friendly. So think about that. Weigh your conscience. I'm not here to judge. So we've got our dog. We're at the bathing room. What's in the bathing room? Tubs, maybe some shampoo if a vendor has been nice enough to donate it. And if they are, please stop by their booth and tell them thank you if you use it and if you like it. iGroom has been donating a lot. Easy Groom usually does. That's not a guarantee though. So bring your shampoo. And also, I don't like to try anything new on show day. I'm a runner. I used to run half marathons all the time. And the first advice that they give you is don't switch things up on race day. I 100% believe that for grooming day. Use what you know works well on the dog, because you don't want to end up with a gunky coat or a soft coat or a coat that's not going to hold up or scissor well. Use what you like, then go back and try the shampoo. Especially with terriers and poodles, you have to wash out all that spray and shampoo anyway because you don't want a lot of hair breakage. Try their shampoo then. Bring a little dollar store 2-ounce sample bottle and, grab some to try at home. There's nothing wrong with that. Or just, go over and say hi and thanks for thinking of us. Now, Hershey's really great at, there's many, many tables, there's many, many dryers, but it is many, many competitors as well. There's 4 tubs at Hershey, and next to the tubs are 2 things of towels. Sometimes there's towels, sometimes there's not, because there's many, many competitors. I always bring my own towels. Shows that have a mobile unit generally do not provide towels. So like All American, God bless Cheryl and Ron Purcell, they do provide towels at Groom in New England when they have their trailer there. But All American does not provide towels. Pet Quest is sketchy. So Groom and NEPGP have Cheryl and Ron, they do, but also Cheryl does not want to go home and do laundry, guys. She's a great show mom. I love her to death. She's a gem in the industry. Don't make her do laundry when she goes home. It's not cool. Pedigree sells those absorber towels. They're really great. I'm sure that other vendors do too now. I honestly haven't been around to shop in a little bit, but I bring my absorber towel and I bring a regular towel. Always. And I bring one towel, microfiber, so it dries overnight, so I'm not bringing home wet cotton towels, because I also don't want to do laundry. Yes, Christy, those towels are a lifesaver. Davis has the moisture magnets, which are a chamois style, they're like feltish almost. These other absorber towels are PVA, and they suck up so much water. I love them. But I bring one of those and I bring my regular towels always, even if the hotel is providing towels, even if the show's providing towels, because you never know. And especially with poodles, if you're bathing at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., who knows if there's going to be clean towels. There's no housekeeping service overnight at hotels, so be prepared. Bring your towels. Bring your shampoo. Yeah, I do love my Artero one, Christy. I got it at the Artero Jordanas in March at Atlanta. If you guys haven't gone, go next year. It's fabulous. I hear it's not going to be on the same weekend as Mardi Gras, so you can go to both Christie's show, which is also fabulous, and the Artero show. That's what you want to do with your life. But I have the Artero towel. I love the Artero towel. I threw out the instructions so I could fit it into my carry-on, and I don't know how to clean it, and it's starting to smell a little musty, so I keep meaning to ask Lulu and I forget. But yeah, Pedigree absorber towels, the Artero charcoal towels, everything. It's like a PVA material, so you don't want it to dry. Well, the Schönbell Pedigree towels can dry out. The Artero one is not supposed to dry out. I did read that instruction, just not how to clean them. So if anybody can help me with that, private message me. Okay, so we've got our dog. We've got our bathing. Here's the thing about bathing, especially for you first-timers. The Hershey bathing area is 24 hours, except that it is closed for the clip-in on Friday and the clip-in on Saturday. Hey, Princess, come here. Kuda's going to join us for our live stream. Oh, come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Oh, sorry. So be mindful of that. This is my Staffy. That's Kuda. She's my little old lady. She's 15. It's also closed for a certain period of time for creative classes if they have them. I haven't checked the schedule, but you can see it. And all of those times that the bathing area is closed are posted. So if you have a very, very large doodle for freestyle or a very, very large poodle for poodle class, just be aware of how long it takes you to bathe and dry your dog. Because you want to bathe and dry your dog before that close time is. You don't want to be rude. You don't want to hog a table. You don't want to, hog the area. They close it for the clip-in, for the rescue people, which is very, very important. And if you are doing the clip-in, show up 15 minutes before check-in. This is how it works. It's down in the holding area on Friday and Saturday. And then the invitational is Sunday upstairs. There is going to be a hat with numbers in it. And each dog is going to have a number corresponding to it. So you're randomly selecting your dog. It's just like you have a new customer at your shop. Very exciting. It's a great thing. I'm very proud of all of you for doing it. I loved rescue. It was a great way to get my feet wet and to know that I wanted to compete full time. So I applaud all of you for giving that a chance and seeing if this is what you want to do. And also if, maybe that's how you decide that this isn't for you. And that's okay. But you're doing something great on Friday and Saturday and Sunday if you get in, and I hope you do. So it's very, very fun. If you are doing the rescue clip-in, bring degreasing, flea and tick, all natural, orange oil based shampoo. Rescues do what they can. Are you in it, Allison? Allison says she's excited for rescue clip-in. Bring orange shampoo. It's not, I've done rescue roundups probably a dozen times, and I think only twice my dog had fleas. But I like to use something that I know is all natural and it's not going to bother me. And so just be prepared. It's flea and tick season. It's summer in PA. See, this is my luscious green yard. Oh, awesome. I'm going to cheer for you, Allison. I'm really excited. Allison grooms in my neighborhood. She has Best in Coat dog grooming shop, which is adorable. And I love the name so much. Yes. Amanda said, can we talk about not overloading the outlets for the dryers? One outlet, one dryer. There may never be two dryers on one outlet. If you break this cardinal rule, you will mess up the entire bathing area for up to an hour. up to an hour. I'm not even joking, because you have to get somebody to come down to reset the fuses. It's a giant pain in the butt. One dryer per outlet. Hand dryer, velocity dryer, fluff dryer, even flat irons. Some of those flat irons are like, yeah, Amanda's gonna beat you up. Oh, nice, Lindsay's in Clippin on Saturday. All right, so guys, bring your shampoos. Bring your shampoos. Seriously, one outlet, one thing plugged into it. That is so important. I bring my own dryers, so I know, like, I love my own dryer. But I unplug the dryer that was plugged into that plug, and I plug my dryer into it. And I know my dryer is not going to burst anything because I use it house call. So it goes into a regular outlet, and a lot of those are K9s at the bathing area. But remember, one appliance for one outlet. The only thing you could maybe get away with is a Dremel plugged in with a dryer. No flat iron, no hand dryer, no fluff dryer. 1 to 1. That's it. Krista asked, this is her first time being waitlisted. Do this being waitlisted prep as usual, waiting to find out if there's an opening? The answer is yes. If you are there, prep your dog, act like you're getting in that ring. Jill is an amazing ring steward who runs that ship very tightly, and she will do her absolute best to get you in. She will. So show up next to the ring like you're going to be a winner. Go prep your dog, stand there with all your tools, be ready. That's very, very important. If you're not on the wait list, same thing. Go stand next to your table. So we've got our dog, we've got our bathing. We know that we're only plugging in one thing per outlet. I will give you this helpful hint. It is very dark in the Hershey garage. And that's where the clip-in is. That's where the holding room is. That's where the bathing area is. It is dark. They put up floodlights. That's great. They're floodlights. I am a big fan of headlamps for running. They will leave a mark, so try to make sure not to wear one too close to your picture, or you'll have a nice pink square on your forehead, which I have many. The Energizer ones are fabulous because they take regular batteries. You can get reusable, like rechargeable batteries, which are better for the environment, but they're very bright, and you can angle them up and down and also change the brightness. So I would definitely suggest picking one up. They're about $10. Sometimes you can get a 3-pack on Amazon for $20 and then share with friends. I typically keep one in my bathing bag and also one in my tack box because I work on all dark dogs, and I would go blind trying to scissor black dogs all day long without any additional light. Paw mats, yoga mats. I'm a paw mat conversion person because I was like, whatever, I have my $5 yoga mat, how much better could this be? And the paw mats they're nice and thick, and yes, they get scratched up a little bit by dog nails, but so do my arms, but they let your scissors slide. So in the competition ring, paw mats are a must. They don't get gummy. If you think about it, like a yoga mat is there to give you better grip with your feet when you're going to downward dog, upward dog, chair pose. It's to keep you from slipping. When I'm trying to do bevels and stuff, I love my paw mats too, Chris. I went from being like, oh God, they're so expensive, to like having 6 of them. And I'm not even kidding. I have 6 in different sizes and thickness. And a couple, like, they're all blue, but they're different shades of blue. A yoga mat's gonna snag your scissors if you're trying to use it in the competition ring. A paw mat's not. It's smooth surface. It's easy to wash. You can hose it off, and it's done. If you're doing a terrier and it's getting chalked, you must cover your table. If you're doing creative, you must cover your table, because somebody's going to put their white Bichon on that table and they're going to be very upset at you. So bring a towel, bring an extra paw mat, bring a yoga mat that doesn't have holes in it, because a lot of them are breathable and the chalk will fall right through the holes, as I learned the hard way. But be prepared for that. So we've got our dog. We have our shampoo. We have our towels. We have waited patiently for a bathing tub, and now we have our table. We've plugged our dryers in, one dryer per one outlet. And now we're brushing and combing on our spare table that we brought because we're smart. Or we go upstairs and we wait right at the beginning of check-in. Checking in for a regular competition. When you pick up your competitor's packet, you will receive a blue badge. That blue badge indicates that you can enter before and after trade show hours for a specific amount of time. You can't come in at like midnight into the trade show floor, but you can at like 6 p.m. to go get the rest of your crap. Chris asked if I wear my headlamp for black dogs during my regular classes. I do. I do, because I can angle it down and I'm not blowing it in anybody's face. I used to have LED strip lights on my arm that I got at IKEA, but it does glare into other people's eyes, and I'm not trying to affect anybody else. I just want to have my best time. So the headlamp's nice because I can angle it down where, unless I like look up and into their eyes, then, you know, it's sorry. But it's not in their face constantly. And I can move it around so it's right where I need it to be. So we're at check-in right now. So when you pick up your competitor's packet, you'll have your blue badge. You'll have a few crate tags with your name printed and your cell phone number that you've provided at registration. Those go in your crates. There's supposed to be one for each crate. I like to stack my crates because also many competitors, and there's limited amount of room in the holding room. And you want to be able to leave room for people to walk around. You know, you don't want your dogs on top of somebody else's dogs, because then it's just going to be a barking nightmare. Which, again, if it's not too hot, bring a blanket or a light sheet. A light sheet is best to cover your crates if necessary. My dog Lenny is known as Loudmouth Lenny. He earned that title. So he has to be covered fairly often. If it's not too hot. If it's hot, sorry guys. Buy cooling mats for your dogs. If it's going to be super hot, those are usually also PVA material. And you kind of like moisten them, and then they keep the underneath of the dog cool without them getting wet, which is nice because you don't want any mats or extra work. There's enough work during the weekend. So back to check-in. In the packet, blue badge, crate tags, coupons. The coupons are your entries to the contest. There will be one per contest that you've entered. You bring that with you to the check-in desk, whether it's upstairs or it's downstairs for the clip-in. And then you sign a pet sportsmanship thing that basically releases Barkley from any and all injuries to your pets during the competition. And you hand your ticket in and you get your table number. Tables are assigned. It will be in the lower hand corner of the number that they give you. That big 8.5 by 11 sheet has Velcro on it. It Velcros to the front of your table. You take that number with you to get your before picture and your after picture. And it will also have the time you're allowed on the front. If you're not sure about the time you're allowed, say for poodles, or if you have a large-ish freestyle dog, you need to see if it's over 17 inches or not. the judge will come around and measure you. You just need to ask to be measured. For poodles, it's 1 hour and 15 minutes under 11 inches. 1 hour and 30 minutes from 11 inches to 17 inches. From 17 to, I believe, 20 inches, it's an hour 30, an hour 45, 2 hours, and 2:15. So it's 11 to like 16.9 inches is an hour and a half. 17 to 20 is an hour 45. That's what both of my poodles get. Over 17 to 22 is 2 hours, and over 23 is 2 hours and 15 minutes. If you're doing freestyle, it is under 17 and over 17, and that's an hour and a half. And then I think that it's under 17 is an hour 45, and then over is 2 hours. I haven't done freestyle in a very long time, since my first competition in open. So check your rules. All the rules are on Barkley's website. So groomexpo.com, go to attend, then contest rules. It has each class laid out. Poodles, you can pre-shave feet. All dogs, you can pre-shave the sanitary, including the eye corners and the inside of the ears. Competitor badge needed. Waitlist, wouldn't have a badge to get in the area to prep. Erin is usually in charge of that area. And if she's not, there's usually somebody there. If you are waitlisted, you will probably still get a blue badge. But you can talk to them at the front desk about that. Hi, Phil. Oh, Phil's joining us. We're talking about competing for the first time, Phil, and what to expect. But Krista, I would talk to the front desk, because if you're waitlisted for every single competition and you don't get a blue badge, they will make an exception for you. They're easy to deal with. They just don't want like some rando from the street coming in. So we've handed our ticket in. We've got our table number. Go over to Ren. Ren's going to take a before photo. Bring a comb with you. Comb up the legs. Back comb. Yes, Phil, we're getting to that part. Phil said prepare for the unexpected. We'll get back to my first competition ever. So you get your before photo. You want the dog to kind of look a little rough. So if it's a terrier, back comb it, fluff up the legs. You want it to look like it's a before. If you didn't bring in enough coat, it's going to be evident, but do yourself a solid and just with the comb. Make sure you're not making a stupid face. Ren does not look at your face. If anybody goes on animalphotography.com and looks at any of my pictures on there, I have photos and they're terrible. So make sure you're not making a stupid face, because he'll tell you it looks good. He's only looking at the dog. After you get your before picture, and if you've checked in right away, so if check-in's at 8, you have till 9 p.m. till we start. You're going to get prejudged. The judge is going to ask you if there's anything they need to know. Things they need to know. This is your first time. This is your first time using the dog. This is a borrowed dog. This dog has a hot spot here. This dog doesn't like its feet touched. I couldn't pluck the ears because it had an ear infection. It's missing hair here. It's kind of long, so I'm going to try and make it a little shorter. One ear is longer than the other. Things like that. Anything that you need to correct on that dog, just spit it out them. Because especially if you're not in open, they're going to want you to know. They're going to want to know that that this dog is not necessarily correct. And they're going to watch what you're going to change for that dog. So now we get like a 5-minute warning. So since it's your first time, I'm assuming we're all nervously checked in. So we're sitting there twiddling our thumbs for an hour. Go through your game plan. There is not a wasted minute in a ring. You're going to start with your rear angulation, your front angulation, then you're going to set your top line and your underline, and you're going to make it all meet in the middle. Then you're going to do your legs. Whatever your game plan is, before you've gotten to the ring, go over it in your head. Get all your scissors out, your clipper. Make sure you have power. If you have a corded clipper, plug that clipper in, make sure it turns on. If you have a dog that needs to be flat iron the dog in the ring. If you need to do your nails and your paw pads and your sanitary still because it's better lit up there, do that. Take a deep breath. Let it all out. Start, if you need Mellow Pet, the dog needs Mellow Pet, like smear it on your grooming arm and your wrist. Take a deep breath of it. Relax. Relax. You've got this. Once you start, Jill will give a countdown. She'll say, ready, set, go, basically, but in a very more comforting and warm way. Stick to your game plan. If something goes wrong, it's okay. You've got this. So back to my first competition ever at Hershey in 2013. My curved shears didn't work, and that was the only set I brought. Everyone makes fun of me for being a hoarder now, but that was my first experience, and I didn't have shears that worked. I had to do my entire Bichon in straights and thinners. So pack 2 of everything, at least. And if you don't, or you don't have 2 of everything, raise your hand. Get Jill's attention, get a judge's attention. Tell them that there's something wrong. Whether it's my scissors aren't working or I don't have power, they're going to help you. They're going to help you. They'll find somebody that has something. And they will get you what you need. I didn't know that my first competition, and Colin said to me, he was like, if you did this all with curves, you would have gotten first. And I told him what happened, and he's like, why didn't you raise your hand? I didn't know. Also, if this is your first time, go to the competitors meeting. It's Thursday night. The room is announced on the Groom Expo page. Jill will answer all of your questions. The judges will answer all of your questions. They'll make you feel warm and confident, like you can do this, because you can. You've already signed up. You've won that lottery, because signups are very, very, very fast right now. So you've got this. Sorry, I'm dying of thirst. I was so thirsty today at work. So now we're starting. You have 1 hour to start. At the hour mark, we take a Sally break. It's 15 minutes. If you have a very long-coated dog, like a Cocker Spaniel, I suggest bringing your paw mat or your yoga mat or a towel with you to put on the ground so they don't get staticky and carry that dog out instead of walking it. The Sally break is great to give you a minute to step back and look at your dog, and to give the dog a minute to take a breath. Some dogs don't handle it well. My one Cocker Spaniel does not handle it well. You might not know that until you get there. Don't panic. When you get them back on the table, just do your best to calm them down and yourself and get back in the rhythm. But take that Sally break, pee if you have to, get a drink of water if you have to. You cannot talk about your grooming or ask somebody what they think about it. You can ask them to hold your dog, step back, look at both sides, see what needs fixing. Before you get to that competition ring, have it in your mind what you want your dog to look like. Because at the Sally break, that is your chance to see if you're hitting your goal. You should have your profile set in by the Sally break so that when you come back, it's all scissoring and finish work, like neatening up that profile. But you really want to nail down where you're going before it so you can see if you're there. After the Sally break, go back in. You cannot start grooming. And I watched somebody start grooming at Pet Quest and made me so mad. They were an entry, but before. You can comb, you can brush. Do not pick up scissors or clippers. Don't do it. It's not allowed. Jill will tell you whatever amount of time you have. For sporting dogs, it'll be an hour. For hand strips, it'll be 45 minutes, an hour 15. And then the countdowns begin. You've got this. You're halfway there. It's fine. If, again, something's not working, you need sprays, raise your hand, find somebody to go get you it. They'll hand it to the judge or Jill, and they'll bring it to you. You may not talk to anyone outside the ring. It's very hard to do. Some people don't know that are outside the ring. And they'll try to talk to you, and you can't do it. You can get disqualified for outside coaching. So try not to, if they're trying to have a conversation, say, I would love to talk to you, but I'm not allowed. We can talk afterwards. Come find me. So now we've groomed, we've got our profile, we've gone over our dog. You want that last 5 minutes to go back over your dog one more time. It's really hard to budget that time. So 6 weeks before Hershey, set a timer. Set your timer for an hour and 55 minutes and get everything done that you can. And then that last 5 minutes, you're going to go over your profile, your scissor work, check your parallel lines, lift up both of your ears, make sure that if they're, edged, that the edging's good, that there's no weird hair sticking out, turn your head left, turn your head right, all that stuff. That's your 5 minutes. You'll get a 5 minute, a 2 minute, a last minute. The last minute's usually for all of the cookies in the cookie jar. Sorry, Jill. But it's take that time, brush off your feet, make sure there's no weird hairs sticking down. I like to take my comb and go in between my toes and make sure that I've gotten all that hair, because the judge is going to comb that foot and the hair is going to pop up and you're going to be like, oh shit, because that's what happens to me all the time. So go through all of that. At scissors down, clear your table. Part of clearing your table means brushing off the bottom of your dog's feet. You do not want your judge to pick up your dog's foot and have a bunch of hair fall off of it. Dogs don't have many sweat glands. They only have them in their ears and their paw pads. So what happens, as we know from working, is that any sweaty area the hair sticks to, and then it gets all like gross, right? So why don't leave hair on the bottom of your dog's foot? They're sweating, they're under lights, they're, standing, and it's a lot of work for them too. So make sure that you clean off the bottom of their feet so that there's no mats that the judge is going to kind of find because it's just junk in there. Clear off all of your table. Leave a clean comb for your judge. A clean comb. So that means bring 2 combs. One for you to use, one for the judge. If you're doing a spray up, bring 3. One for the spray up, one for you to use, one for the judge. Leave that judge's comb in your grooming box until you're ready to be judged. And then take it out, spray a little scissor spray on it with enough time for the scissor spray to dry, and that'll help the comb glide through. You want a fine tooth comb for judging, not because you want the judge to go over with a too fine of tooth, but it won't affect your profile, where a wide tooth comb will leave lines. So a lot of people give like a really wide tooth comb and it's counterproductive. You want like a Utsumi comb, like really small, rounded tips, fine tines. After judging, you go and get your after picture. You go and you take your number, you go see Ren again, bring your comb your dog up, fluff it, comb every hair into place, smile big because you did it, you finished. And that's really the most important thing. Your judge will come over and judge you. That's when you go and get your after picture after that. And then you wait for everyone else to finish. Try to pack up your box then. Clean up your stuff. Be respectful of other people that are still working. Don't, if you want an after picture from a friend, go ahead, ask them to do it. Just do it quietly. Judging will happen. Watch your judge. You want to keep your dog stacked when they're around, because they're going to look at profiles from afar. And that's how they're going to make their cut, is by your profile. Profile is very, very important. Finish work's great. You need all of those things in open, but profile is the first thing you need to nail, because that's how you know that you understand that dog. Awards will be announced. Clap. Clap for the judges. Clap for your friends in the ring. They're not your competitors. They're your colleagues. Clap for everyone. After individual class awards, they do group awards. Clap again. And then you get your critique. You have to stand there for your critique. It may take a while. So plan on an extra half hour to 40 minutes after the finish of awards for your critique. Ask any questions you need to. That's what you've paid for. And if you've won and you've placed, placement photographs are mandatory. Go get your photograph taken. You've earned it, and you want that, and you want to order your print and tell the whole world, because you earned that. When all is said and done, try to clean up your table a little bit. Don't leave a ginormous mess. Remove all of your stuff from the ring and the dog. And if you have another class, go get ready for it. I'm a terrible person, and I leave my stuff everywhere, and I trust that people are not going to steal it. Chris asked how I handle back-to-back competitions. So this is what I'm actually exactly getting into. Saturdays for me are very busy. I do my sporting dog, and then I do my poodle. So I used to try and do them both myself, and it was very difficult and open to do that because I have a spray up poodle. So he needs wigs put in, and I cannot possibly manage getting myself out of the ring and him into the ring. That's because I can't put the wigs in before the competition. I can't do it in the morning and put him in a crate and trust that he won't tear them out. So if you need back-to-back, try and find someone to help you get out of the ring, or at least walk your dog. If you're doing back-to-back hand strip and then all the purebred, it's not that bad. If you're doing, back-to-back sporting and then poodle, prep both of them in the morning. If it's not a spray up, it's not that bad. I'm not saying it's great, but time saving wise, I leave my stuff kind of on the side of the ring that I know I don't need to bring into the bathing room to finish my dog. I know I run a risk of people stealing my stuff. I've been competing for almost 6 years now, and I've not had anything stolen, and I know that I'm blessed for that. But I feel like also most competition groomers are very trustworthy, and it's usually when things are stolen at shows, it's from vendors or from a rando class with rando people. So I'm not advocating leaving your things everywhere. It's not exactly risk-free. I take the risk. But I find that for the most part, it's okay. Just, kind of shove it off to the side where it's out of the way for the people that are cleaning the ring, but it's also still easily accessible for you and not just someplace where someone can reel off with it. But it is at your own risk. Barkley will not be held responsible, nor will any other show producer. I'm not going to be held responsible for that. It's your own decision. Hide it under a table sometimes. But for the most part, it really is okay. If you have to bathe your dog out afterwards, again, like especially with terriers, wait a little bit. If you're not in all of their purebreds and you need to wash the chalk out of your terrier, wait until that class starts so that everybody who's rushing into all of their purebreds can get in and get their dogs, you know, set and ready without having to fight for a dryer. If you're doing creative or abstract, try to do it while other dogs are in the class. It's just common courtesy. You know, you don't need to be up at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning doing a creative for Sunday. You might with the dye, but there's other times to do it. Like just, you know, go eat breakfast and come back. And I love those creative girls. They work really, really hard, but try not, if you don't need to bathe your dog right then and there for that day, like right at that moment, and you can wait like an hour and it's not going to kill you, please do. Just be considerate of each other. If you win and you place, you're going to get handed an envelope. That envelope is going to have a like winner's form, and you need to fill it out, and you go to the registration desk to get your check, unless it's a WPA show. The WPA show, which is Atlanta Pet Fair and Super Zoo, they will mail you your winnings in 6 weeks, and they do take taxes out. Barkley will give you a 1099 at the end of the year. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So clean up, thank people, thank your judge. If there's somebody that you really liked their groom in the ring and they're doing the same breed as you, be brave. Ask them what they think of yours, what they would do differently. You never know, especially afterwards, especially if it's the last class of the day and they're not running into the ring right away. You can get a lot of helpful hints from the people that are next to you at the tables. Things to bring, I guess, would be the other thing that we haven't covered into the ring. I have a video on my YouTube channel of me packing my competition box. It's Groomer Problems is the channel name. It was a live stream as well, so I just figured that was easy to put them all in one place. I'm sure you can find it on my Facebook under videos though. But bring 2 of every scissor, 2 of every blade. I would bring 1 clipper, 1 5-in-1 if you use them with an extra blade. Brushes, at least 2 combs, 3 if you're using any product. A towel into the ring if you're chalking. If you're chalking, also bring handy wipes for yourself and the judge. Your paw mat, obviously. An alligator clip loop. Those are loops that go like this, as opposed to the like circle with the little, you know, thing. So not like a groomer's helper loop, but one that opens and closes like this. And that's because some of these shows have the grooming arms that have the notches taken out of the actual arm, as opposed to the bolt with the eye bolt. The notches will not fit a little C clip like this. They only fit the alligator clips. So you've got that, combs, anything that you would use to groom the dog in your shop, you want in your box. I really love the iStyle from iGroom or Thick and Thicker from Chris Christensen. I like Pedigree's Love Potion, which is like a scissor spray. It's like Crown Royal No. 3, but it smells really delightful. I like the Artero Statex. I like the Artero Flash. I just recently used the iGroom Gloss It. I use Silk Spirits from Pet Silk. I use the Esprit Argan Oil. I use the Atami H270 spray from Yves Saint Bernard. It just depends on the dog. And you want to figure all of that out before you get to the ring. Very, very important. I've recently started having the assistants to help me. That's an open level competitor problem. It won't hurt you, though, if you can find a friend in entry or intermediate to just help you and have each other's back. When Jacob Robinson is my show husband, and I love him so much. And when we were both in intermediate together, like, we had each other's back. So make a buddy. Make a buddy. They can, maybe Liz Signs is my show buddy a lot, because she does freestyle and hand strip, and I do sporting and poodle and all other purebreds. So at least one of the days she's kind of free to like help me. But we have each other's back. So again, like I've said in previous live streams, build a community, joke around with the people next to you, make friends. We're all here for each other. We really are. If somebody approaches you afterwards and says, you did a really good job, can I tell you something? Just listen to their advice. I've had lots of people do that for me, and I've had judges do that for me. You don't have to take the advice, just listen and say thank you. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay too. I'm a big fan of that, because there's 1,000 ways to do this stuff, and one of them's going to work for you, maybe two of them. Maybe it works better for one dog versus another dog. So just, listen with an open heart. You don't have to do it. So I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else that I do besides Saturday night. Get yourself a drink and a meal, even if it's a non-alcoholic drink. Just go celebrate. Unless you're doing rescue rodeo, in which case you have to go to bed very, very early. Do not be late to that. Cheryl doesn't like that. WPA doesn't like that. None of that stuff. If anybody has any other questions, something I didn't cover, just message me and I will answer gladly, because I've made every mistake in the book, and I have been a terrible competitor and a terrible person to myself. And so I have a lot of gained wisdom that I'm willing to share, so you don't have to make my same mistakes. Have a great Tuesday night, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your week.